Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Patsun, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/marriage, where we see OP finally growing a spine. But before we begin, I just wanted to let you guys know that OP's original post was from 4 years ago, but it was only recently that he posted multiple updates about his story. So you better grab your popcorn, everybody, because this is one hell of a roller coaster. So without further ado, you better sit back, relax, hold on to your Dragon Balls, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll begin. My wife cheated and got pregnant. We have 2 kids already. I need some advice. Posted by Reddit user SilverSkies100.
Phew, I've been reading these for a few years now. I guess it's my turn. I'm male, 27, married to my wife, 30. We've been together 5 years, married 1. She had a son previous to me.
By the end of this, you are going to be crying like a little bitch.
I came around when the child was about 1.5 to 2. We had another child 2 years into the relationship, unplanned obviously. In the beginning we were like animals. Man, did everything really sync up. And I'm guessing. 2 to 4 times a week at night, afternoon, morning, whenever. Got kinky and tried new things, it was great. Over time it slowly got less, and after child 2, it was beg for days and get rejected each time, be yelled at for wanting to even touch her, about asking to have sex more than once a week, but being shut down, not actually having sex, just asking or trying to initiate. Here we are 2 kids in, and I struggle to beg anymore. I'm absolutely lucky to get 1 to 2 times a month anymore, that's the average. Sometimes we will go without sex for a month. Here's the thing, I am super high libido. Always have been, probably always will be. I can get down every day multiple times a day if that was possible with her, but I can totally compromise for 1 to 2 a week. Is that too much? Because she makes me feel like I should be 120% fine with 1 to 2 times a month. She has extremely low libido. She initiates once every month or every other. It always has to be in the morning. She is in bed on the dot every night by 9 p.m. Netflix is her go-to. We don't hang out in our living room, and she doesn't ever want to do anything at night. No card, no board games, no just sitting and listening to music, no painting. I'd be happy with finger painting on the floor and laughing, but nothing. I am the adventure, have fun, go explore, and make life as fun as possible type of guy. She was more like this in the beginning. She and I have one hobby currently that I'm happy with, and we need to get a babysitter for half a day to do it. It's always all on me to plan, pay, and take care of that. We both work full-time, and due to the virus and a recent pay cut, I have to get job number 2 sometime this month. It's bad that she makes me feel like this is too much, and I try to be understanding. If I don't bring up sex, it's not even on her radar. Haven't gotten oral in over 1.5 years. I'm 27 and feel like I lost my sex life already. I'm the type that is into and up for just about everything. If she would say I want to try XYZ, I'm all for it, but she is not. I got her a few little costumes or lingerie, and she has toys and stuff. She never wears it or uses the other toys besides her vibrator. She only gets off with her vibrator nowadays and doesn't even let me eat her out much anymore. This was the way I made her orgasm. She says she can't feel it much anymore. The pregnancy possibly. I don't know, but the vibrator can do the job. Here's the thing, I can eat her for 2 hours. I don't care how long it takes for her to get off. I'll go the distance. I would sit there and eat away if she'd let me. We've had arguments and fights about how sex is all I care about, so when I bring it up once, she starts getting mad and defensive that I just give up and stop the conversation, because at that point I've lost the cancer for sex, and now have to spend my night diverting energy to calm her and fix the situation. I get her flowers once a month, take the family out to dinners, and am a present father. I play with the kids to let her have alone time. I'm a great dad 100%. Her family loves me. We go on dates every now and then when we can get a babysitter, but it's always up to me to plan, pay, and drive. I'm 98% always the designated driver. I'm not a scrub in relationships, and I'm always thinking of thoughtful things to do. I don't go out much because I don't have many friends and COVID, so I'm around a lot. I do my part, if not more, around the house. Not a go to the bar kind of guy. I pay for portion of her bills and probably more soon. I work at home and watch the kids during COVID. This is quite frankly driving me insane. Also, it's extremely difficult, and after that, I'll be going to job number 2. I honestly don't want to get another damn job and be more miserable than not having sex after 15-hour workdays. I need an outlet to release, and man, is my hand getting boring. I masturbate often, every day or every other day. She always asks me to tell her when I do or after I'm done, but I never do because she gets all pissy and has the "are you fucking serious" vibe to her. If I told her I jerk it about once a day, she'd flip a cow, so not sure if I should be upfront about that. She thinks masturbating once a week is a fuck ton, but we used to fuck like 3 to 4 times a week, so it makes no sense to me. I try to be romantic to throw her in the mood, flowers, candles, and dark lit rooms. It's usually a miss, so I don't do that too often as the effort put in is usually wasted. I even try to make an ideal situation for her, make dinner, put the kids to bed myself, which I usually do every night anyway, and wake up early for her because that's when it's most likely to happen. But no, it's like my little gestures go unnoticed. We used to use ropes and toys, new house locations, and we're much more adventurous, so you can see where I'm coming from. I don't even know where to go from here. I just masturbate as needed and hope we have sex that month, try to initiate once a week maybe. It's literally all up to her and how she feels, and it's never really up to me, even from a woman's perspective. Ladies, if you're out there, what am I missing? Is she just stuck in low libido forever from having 2 kids, and I'm out of luck? I'd say I'm a good-looking guy, also attractive, physically fit, smart. She never comes up to me and kisses my neck like I try with her. She doesn't touch on me like I try with her. She doesn't ever say I want to have sex right here and now. I feel like she does it 1 or 2 a month as a pity thing, like a minimum amount of effort. Here we go, get it over with type of thing. She never wants it to last more than an hour ever. It feels to me like do your business and then grab my vibrator. She never can do multiple rounds in the same sitting, whereas me, the male, is ready for round 2 in about 15 minutes. Hell, I could even do a round 3. I don't know, but here I am stressed to the brim finally typing it out. What's next? And now, for OP's update 4 years later. Disclaimer, what would you do? Have you been in a situation like this? I don't even know what I'm looking for in posting this, but Reddit is a place I go to find nuggets of great advice, so I'm looking for that on this post, just some human-to-human honesty. It's a long one, a movie at this point. I have been together with my wife for 9 years, married for 4. We have 2 children, 7 years and 11 years. I adopted our oldest around 4 years ago as well, but raised him and was a part of his life since he was 1.5 years. All the puke, shit, stepping in Legos, riding bikes, that's my boy essentially. Last year, January, my wife started a part-time serving job at night and started going out with her coworkers at the local bars and their houses 1 to 3 times a week after work. Sometimes for an hour or 2 after closing time, sometimes until 3 a.m. She also had another part-time job during the day for 4 to 5 HRS. I worked a 50-hour work week at a remote work-from-home job. Since my job was much more flexible, I took the kids to and from school, helped with homework and class projects. I carried most of the slack on their sports or doctor's appointments, as I had more flexibility, but we both shared these 2 tasks. I also worked on my side business at night after bedtimes that I built from the ground up. I'm proud of, and it's definitely my passion and dream. During late spring and early summer, my wife started working more at the night serving job and less at the part-time day job, which meant she was also frequenting the bars and going out with her coworkers more. I voiced my concern quite a bit, but always was met with "the kids are already asleep, I'm just going out with my coworkers." I would bring up activities we could do, games, painting, hanging out, things you would want to do with your wife. It was more convenient to just hang out with the people she was already with. Fast forward a few months towards the end of the summer, more late nights, new friends I've never met, schedule changes. My wife comes to me with, "Hey, I'm developing a schoolgirl crush with a coworker. I feel silly about it. There's nothing to worry about. I just wanted to let you know and make you aware. We can call the coworker Fred." Now feeling secure in my marriage, love of my life for 8 years, mother of my children, been through a third of my life with her, know her so much. I say something along the lines of, "Thank you for coming to me. The honesty is appreciated. You work with the guy, we are married, we've been together for 8 years. I trust you in our relationship. And it would make sense that eventually someone would get a feeling like this. We are only human, like that's pretty dumb but no biggie, thanks for the honesty." I approached it with compassion and probably a chunk of naivety at this point. I told her that it was dumb, but it's all okay and I trust her. You are just coworkers, and even joked and said go get coffee with the guy, you work with him a lot anyway. Maybe she would see the schoolgirl crush as dumb and shake it off. Say to herself, what am I doing? My husband is my man sort of thing. Boy, was I wrong. Fast forward a month or so, same going out to the bars behaviors. I'm dropping off and picking up the kids, I'm cooking dinners, doing bedtimes alone. I got let go from my day job, and it was a unique job that allowed me freedom to take care of the kids, take time off, and it paid fairly well for my profession. I decided to put more effort into my business and went full-time into it. I was making about the same amount at my side business as my old day job at this point, even more by double some months too. I was ecstatic, but working hard day and night and staying focused to keep the bills paid. Everything has been split 60-40, me paying a bit more most of our relationship. We were 20-year-olds having kids. I wasn't in a position to pay for a family of 4 off of 1 or 2 jobs with my skill set. She very desperately wanted me to pay for everything so she could stay home, and still does. It's just really hard to make enough for her to stay home in this economy and our skill sets. I only can work 2 jobs realistically. One month, she was going to visit her friend on the West Coast for a week. Everything was normal and seemed fine, and when she came back from the trip we went to a concert, and I felt something was a little off because I saw she was texting one of her old exes again. She hasn't talked to this guy for years, and it was becoming this constant thing I was noticing. I confronted her about it, and she said she had met him on the West Coast trip in passing at a concert her and her friends went to, so they reconnected and started talking again. At this point I was definitely concerned, and was questioning how this trip really went. I never went through her phone our entire relationship, but I had a chance to one day and I had this gut feeling. I looked through her phone and found out she cheated on me with one of her girlfriend's friend. Some dude she just met for a day or 2 and slept with him. I see texts back and forth from him and her that were talking about what they did and how great it was, not a care in the world, and she was loving the praise and attention from this guy. I also find a text thread with her planning a hotel night with Fred that same week she came back from that trip. If not one hookup was enough, she wanted 2. A ruse that she was going to give me about being at her girlfriend's house party, too drunk to drive home so she had to stay the night. There was also more texts between other dudes about wanting to hang out or meet up for drinks. Sure, let's make a date. I'll check if my babysitter is free. Apparently I'm the babysitter. At this point I felt struck. I mean hit with a train, spikes thrown at my body, dragged through hot lava. Absolutely enraged. I couldn't process it. I was in utter disbelief. If you are wondering, our sex life was damn amazing in the beginning. We were an amazing pair sexually, but the last 3 years of the relationship it was fairly dead. I would have to beg for sex and would be lucky to get 1 or 2 times a month. I married a girl with a matching sex drive to me, which is fairly high, but hers decreased a bunch after kid 2 and I was the only one initiating and trying to be sexy and show that I wanted her in that way. When I saw her next I confronted her. She seemed shocked I found out and was pissed. I went through her phone, later find out there was more I missed too in Snapchat. She didn't cry right away or act how I would expect. She didn't throw herself at me crying. She was just looking sad and shocked. It took a few days for me to really see her break down and see that she probably fucked up the marriage forever. I try to sort through all the pain, hurt, betrayal, confusion, point of origin, hatred, love, depth, you name it. It was a rocky feeling weeks mentally. The depression started kicking in, but that's my wife, and in the end, I tried my absolute best to see the good in her and just try to make it work for the sake of our kids, the home, the marriage. I tried to be the better man.
That's stupid! You're stupid! Stop being stupid!
I told her, don't stay at your friends, let's try and work this out. I hate you because of the betrayal, but I love you because everything else we've been through. We even slept in the same bed that night too. Is this trauma bond? The next part happens within a few weeks from when I found out. In July to August all hell broke loose. I will take some blame here on this next section because my mental psyche was completely compromised, and I was not operating as a functional human mentally at this point. I was broken, or at least that's how it feels. We decided to do an open relationship test run.
Oh my god!
Stupid move. It was a shiny new thing that sounded good on paper. We made rules and an agreement. She went on a date with Fred. I tried to be mostly supportive and open to the initial idea. Who knows what might work out for both of us at this point. She comes home and tells me about the night. It was a simple date with him, her, and a group of friends. But I realized right there I'm never going to have time to chase another girl and raise kids and build my business. I was blinded by the idea, but it made no sense in hindsight. But it would work great for her and her schedule. At this point I'm drowning for something to make sense. I'm flopping around like a fish trying to breathe and figure everything out. One night I asked her to hang with me besides watch TV, something to the effect of helping me do a menial task that would take an hour or so. No, she wasn't into it and would rather watch TV. I snapped. I said sure, whatever. I felt the care and love disappear. I felt the depression and numbness overcome me. It felt like when Anakin turned into Darth Vader. I felt vengeful. I felt hatred. I felt the poison of revenge just totally engulf me. I felt depressed. I felt like I wasted my life away for someone, adopted her son, worked 2 jobs. How could she do something like this to me? I worked 2 jobs for 5 years and tried my best to provide as a young father of 2. I gave everything, my all. I bled for this family day in and day out and adopted her son.
Wow, like a bitch.
And that's what Frieza said.
I signed papers to always be responsible for another man's child and to love him forever. But the poison just hit me. How can she do that to me and how can I handle this? Life didn't seem real anymore. I hopped on Tinder and found the easiest girl and planned a date and possible hookup if things went okay. I skipped a chunk of the rules and agreement of the open relationship and wasn't honest in what I was doing or my intentions of the night. I met the Tinder girl at a bar and hit it off a bit, but at this point I could care less about looks or the conversations or anything. I just was filled by this numbness and worthlessness to feel what my wife did to me, feel how easy she could do it to me. I was numb. I let go. We went to a secluded place and hooked up. Wife had my location on and brought the kids out at 2 a.m. to catch me up in the act. Who brings their kids out at 2 a.m. into unknown situations? Absolutely insanity. She hit me multiple times and tried to beat me. She threw who knows what from her trunk at my head and clocked me pretty good a few times. I didn't touch her or fight back. I was dazed and in shock. My wife makes me drive the girl I met back to her car with my kids and my wife in the backseat. Nice move. Let's traumatize the kids, right? She makes me sleep in a hotel for a few nights, throws all my shit all over the house, threatens to destroy all my business gear, screams, punches, throws everything at me. In my head I'm thinking, man, what the fuck was I thinking to do something like that? But I also realized when she cheated on me, I was pissed but calm and reasonable. We slept in the same bed the night I confronted her. I yelled a bit, but didn't make her leave the house. I didn't take all her shit and throw it around. She was showing me that she couldn't handle the same thing she just dealt to me and she was being so cruel and evil to me. I get back in the house and it's days of violence. Me trying to keep the peace and explaining that I'm feeling broken, depressed and hurt. That she would do that to me in the way that she responded when I did the same thing back. No, what I did was worse. I should have been the better man and not cheated back even though we were open. It was my fault and I'm the slime of the earth. All things she kept saying to me, making me seem like the scummy villain, a terrible excuse for a husband and awful human for cheating back on her. All the while we only got to this point because she cheated on me. She didn't want to see that she made me into this shell of a man and all of this was happening so fast. What was the rush? Why did all of this fall apart so fast? There was something else that was affecting this rushy open relationship. A few days after this my wife finds out she's pregnant. We were now in tornado panic mode. Everything is spinning in our world. We found out that she is pregnant with a doctor's visit shortly after this. We find out it lines up perfectly to her week trip out west. It was the dude she met and fucked out there. I know this because we didn't have sex the week before or after her trip. It's not an excuse for her behavior, but the pregnancy hormones could have been why she was so intense when she caught me. Even when we were technically in an open relationship, I just skipped some rules. Hell, she broke the entire marriage vow when she cheated. Even so, she bounced the idea of keeping this guy's baby and I specifically said to her, "It's your body, you need to make this decision. I don't want to sway you anyway, that is your body, not mine." I made this clear many times. One day she asked me what I would do if she kept this man's baby, and I responded honestly, "I don't know if I can handle raising another man's baby that you cheated on me with." After a week she decided to get an abortion. Even at the clinic I said, "Do you want to go home? You don't have to do this and it's your body. Seriously, this is an important thing. We can just go home." Yes, she asked me to drive her to the clinic. She was going to have Fred drive her. She almost instantly regretted the decision a day or so later. She wanted to keep that man's baby and she made me feel like I forced her to choose to abort. August to December were the worst months of my life. Worse than watching my mother slowly die of stage 4 cancer. It was a terrible time. Constant fights, trauma, and her throwing my stuff outside and begging me to leave, but then telling me to fight for her. Going back and forth on what she wanted. She would get physical with me and punch me in the face some days. Men can't report domestic violence. That shows weakness. She would take the kids away for weekends or weeks. She even tried to take them from me on Christmas Eve. She did, but brought them back at night. Utter pain and chaos. Then came the ultimatum. She regretted not keeping the baby and said, "I'm not willing to work on our relationship unless you give me a baby." She wouldn't even entertain the idea of fixing the marriage first unless she was pregnant first. I'm not insane, am I? That's not normal, right? We're not well-off people, lower middle class at best. Always one full-time job and a part-time job or two for me and a part-time or two for her. We make it each month, but have no savings or retirement. I know after all of this having another child is finically the stupidest thing we could do. And then on top of all this pain and betrayal, the last thing I want is to have a child with the woman who cheated on me. It sounds so selfish and one-sided. Our kids we have now deserve as much care and attention we can give them with the little resources we have. I can't work 90 hours a week and be okay. I know I don't have the mental, emotional, financial, and temporal bandwidth for another child. But I know she wants another to fill the void she has from losing the other. But I feel like that's not my fault or obligation to give her another kid just because she cheated and had one with another dude and she decided to abort. Now she feels the need to have another. I don't feel like that should fall on me. That's not right to put the entire marriage on a selfish one after all of this. It's been 6 months since this happened, and we are more amicable and somewhat peaceful when conversing now. Both hurt, still in pain, but living under the same roof. I want to be there for my kids every day. That's my number one now. It used to be my wife, the kids, and myself last. But now it's the kids, myself, and my wife last. I want to be there every day for them like I have been for the past 10 years. I adopted her son as my own and she wants to take them away for an at best situation of 50-50 split custody. I love these kids so much and I know they will be broken without dad there growing up. Sure, 50% is better than nothing, but it's tough. Am I crazy for still tossing the idea of just giving in to what my wife wants? Am I insane for still wanting this marriage to work? I think about it and sometimes feel like a weak man who just wants his kids. I want peace, not more headaches. But another baby sounds so intense right now, but we're definitely at the defining fork in the road. There is no more straight path, a decision has to be made. Give her a child and save the marriage for my children, working even more hours to stay afloat, knowing I'm doing it all for my kids and a wife who cheated on me and I cheated back. Do I just give in and give her little dream of a baby to keep my family, or walk away with my peace? Knowing that I tried my best to make it work, but knowing life will be 1000% harder raising 2 kids in separate households. I'll still have to work double hours or find some magic job that can afford 2 kids and a single dad in this economy. I don't have much of a friend network or any family here. I'd pretty much be on my own. I don't know Reddit. I'm just a 1 in a billion human being just like you going through a different experience. I thought I'd share this. Any advice, clarity, perspective, or story is appreciated. I have a gut feeling of what I should do and choose myself and my happiness and peace, but it's just tough. And now for OP's second update. Thank you everyone who reads this. Sorry it was so long and painful. Yes, it's real life for me. I'm not looking for any glorification here. I'm just trying to work through this all. So here is an update and clarification on a few things. I know the choice I need to make. It took me a long damn time to come to my senses and understand I'm worth more than this pain, and no human deserves this. I can take a lot because my childhood revolved around a narcissistic mother and I was her scapegoat kid. My dad was the only thing keeping me from going off the deep end as a kid and teenager. So I always respected the absolute bullshit my mother put us all through. He stayed for us and in hindsight might have not been the best, but he thought he was doing the best for us. I see that I have extremely similar morals to him and thought I needed to stay strong, never give up, to stay and be the shield for my kids. But no more. It's tough because I have other factors here that are keeping me from just getting a lawyer and moving out. To be clear, after I got let go from my day job and my side business held me over and was even better some months than my normal 9 to 5, until I caught her cheating. The job requires immense creativity and my brain couldn't process creativity after going through all this. I still pushed out some great work but slowly was doing less because of my mental health was a shit show. I picked up a part-time job in November doing stupid menial shit in the same sector of work, and have been doing my business on the side when I can muster up the creative juice. I don't have any savings or means to just hire a lawyer instantly. It would take me several months to do that currently and a lot of long nights. While staying vigilant through any more turbulence with the wife, I also have no means to last month, security deposit for an apartment or place to stay while all of this goes down. I don't have any family in this state and my friends are honestly 2 to 3 people I've hung out with a few times. I had no life for 5 years to build this business and work full-time for the family, so a true support circle really doesn't exist. Lastly, my business has run out of my entire garage. It requires a lot of space and equipment, electricity and water, and if I get an apartment somehow, I will lose that source of income until I could get enough to afford an apartment and a small workspace or warehouse, which perpetuates this no money to take action issue. And now, for OP's third update. With all of the courage you all gave me, and this realization I've been a damn doormat for all of this and blinded by my own idea of a man never giving up, I told her flat out I want a divorce. Took my ring off and told her that she fucked all of this up and she cannot treat me or anyone else like this. And if she thinks using and abusing a human like this after they adopted her son is okay, then she is insane. The baby extortion, the making me feel worthless, how my cheating was worse and unforgivable. But she can cheat and get pregnant while I bust my ass for the kids. I told her fuck this, I'm done. I did some immediate gray rock and 180 like some of you suggested. Awesome by the way, and she perked up like confused chipmunk. I saw the wheels turning in her brain in real time. She knew I was serious and she broke the fuck down. I mean on the floor uncontrollably crying. It took her all of this bullshit and time to realize my worth. It took me a while too. Except this time, I'm viewing her actions as this third-person view, since I'm so removed and accepting of the decision I need to make. No more distractions. She has been saying she'll do anything I want. She is trying to do sexual favors. I turned it down by the way. Gave me my favorite candies or things and trying to plan dates and shit. Saying she wants everything to work now and she wasn't ready for those 6 months. While she was fucking me up emotionally, mentally, and physically, but now she ready to put in the work. I looked at her in disgust and just felt I was watching this situation like a third person. It was quite an eye-opening thing. I felt this flame in my chest and I stuck to my guns, and now she is scrambling for my attention and trying to love bomb me into that old fucking moron who let her step all over me, over and over again. But no, not this time. It's weird seeing her go from cruel and abusive to trying so hard to fix this now. That's it for now. I guess I'm going to keep the gray rock and 180 up and just tuck away money as best as I can. Sell any unnecessary things I have laying around to get some cash. I will keep you posted so the full story will get an ending. Who knows, maybe I'll write a book.
I am so glad that you are finally growing a damn spine. My goodness me, OP. It's so difficult reading through the first parts of your story. Dude, you're an absolute fucking idiot for staying with her. Hell, I would even go as far as to say that you're a fucking idiot for being a white knight to a single mother. And look at what that has brought to you. But it does look like that you finally learned your lesson after all of these years, and you started growing a pair. I am happy for that, so I'll be looking out for your final update. Don't fuck this up, OP. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.